Welcome back, you guys, to another Madden 23 Lions franchise. This week we were playing against the 9-1 Tennessee Titans. So we got a couple of prompts coming up. We're going to start off with the short week. So this is a Thursday night football game, coming off that win we got just recently against the Seahawks, where Kirk was starting. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why we're talking to Kirk. Kirk is not starting for this game. I've already put him as the second QB, but the goal is obviously to beat the Titans and then commit one or fewer turnovers, which is already our goal with Jake Zimmer, who has had that issue with turning the ball over, and that was the initial reason for why he was benched for Kirk. But yeah, I guess an additional goal now is, on top of the fact that he's got a little bit of an accuracy boost for the next one or two games, we're also trying to commit one or less turnovers as a team. And I'm hoping that Jake Zimmer can stick to that after having 3 straight games of 3 turnovers or more from him individually. So can you end their win streak? We're going to be confident. This team is very good. We're going to get into the players on their team. But yeah, they're 9-1 for a reason. And we have a couple upgrades before the game as well, before we get into the roster. Some big ones at that. Jameson is getting an upgrade, finally getting him to a 90 overall officially. And getting up to a 90 playmaker gets him a boost to awareness, medium route, short route, ball carrier vision, break tackle, catching traffic, catching, and juke. So let's take a look at his stats and where he's at right now. He's in the 90s in almost everything. Short route is probably the weakness for him, along with his release still. But I don't find that his release is much of a problem when he's getting pressed off the line. He usually does a good job just because of his pure speed and his ability to outrun his defender. 95 change of direction. He's getting a boost of plus 10 to his break tackle, which is boosting it up to 93, which is insane. But still a superstar dev, only 23 years old, could very easily get X Factor pretty soon. He might trade places with Cooper, where Cooper goes down to superstar at some point and Jameson goes up to X Factor. We'll see. And then Jake Zimmer gets an upgrade, and this is going to finally boost him up to an 85 overall. I wanted to do it to field general, but we're going to go scrambler. Because this is going to unlock a couple more abilities under the scrambling trait. It also unlocks another ability slot. So this is boosting his throw accuracy mid, throw accuracy short, and then his throw on the run as well. And his throw on the run is now up to 90, which is pretty good. I still don't completely trust it. Right now, he's getting that boost to his pass accuracy. And so his short accuracy right now is maxed. His medium accuracy is basically maxed, and his deep accuracy is up to an 83. So he is looking really good. And now now that we're looking good, we gotta play good in the game against the Titans. The Titans quarterback is Joe Burrow, 96 overall. And their halfback is Josh Jacobs, which is a perfect fit for what the Titans, traditionally like to do. They have a backup halfback. Actually, they have 2 young backup halfbacks, 73 and 75 overall. And at wide receiver, they have DeAndre Hopkins and Deontay Hardy. Deontay Hardy actually leads their team in receptions and receiving yards. Marquez Callaway is at the 3 spot, and then they got John Ross and Danny Gray. They have Dallas Goedert at tight end with Sean O'Sullivan as the backup. Their O-line looks pretty good from their tackles, at least. They got Ashawn Robinson and Samson Ebukam as their defensive ends. They get the rookie Tim Overstreet, almost an 80 overall at this point at D tackle. And then they got their backup, who is also a rookie at D tackle, Tony Dickerson. So they're starting 2 rookie D tackles. But they do look to be pretty good. Rashawn Gary at left outside linebacker. They got Cole Holcomb and Kobe Dean at middle linebacker. So they got some speed at middle linebacker. At right outside linebacker, they got Odafe Uwe, who is also very good. Then they got J.D. Spriggs, another top pick in the draft from last year, an 82 overall, 22 years old only, along with Desmond King and Avonte Maddox and Steven Nelson. So they got a lot of depth at corner. At free safety, they got Johnny Strzelski, the free safety, only 22 years old, second-year player, 88 speed. Pretty short at 5'9", but looks like a solid player. And then they got Adrian Amos at strong safety. And so Dontrell Parker is back for this game, but it looks like Trey Hendrickson is going to be out with a hip pointer injury. On the first run by Josh Jacobs, we completely stopped him for a loss of 2. I believe that's mostly on DeMarcus Lawrence there, who is still by far our number 1 defender in terms of defending the run with his 90 block shed at this point. Again, this is a team that we've put together on defense that does not have the highest block shedding and run defense. Our strength in terms of run defense is a lot of our secondary and linebackers We got Nathan Walls, who, again, was a linebacker at one point who has decent block shed. Isaiah Simmons has good block shed. Our corners tend to have pretty solid block shed. Over the middle, Josh Jacobs gets hit, and they pick it up and almost get the first down. It's 4th and inches. Elijah Vera Tucker with an injury holding his shoulder. Josh Jacobs got rocked on that play. They scoop it up and get additional yards. On 4th and inches, they are still going to punt it away, but that was almost a crazy turnaround. I think that was their backup tight end there that almost made that play. On the punt return, Brian Jackson. See what he can do. Immediately tackled down. A little bit of a risky return there. Luckily, he didn't get big hit. But Jake Zimmer coming back out onto the field after being benched in our previous game versus the Seahawks. He has a lot to make up for. Again, the goal is to not have any turnovers in this game. And honestly, not to have any turnovers in any game. But you can see here, 22 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. That has been an issue for him this season. A lot of problems with inaccuracy or facing pressure in the pocket, forcing some balls that probably shouldn't be thrown, especially amongst the linebackers. And we're going to see if we can kind of cut down those turnovers, especially in our first game. Hebert losing 2 yards on the first play, though. On a 2nd and 12. They got their 4 D linemen spread out wide. It's going to be a design QB run up the middle and doesn't fumble, luckily. Picks up 7 yards, making it a 3rd and manageable situation. All right. This looks like something that we could easily beat. We got Antoine on the outside. We got Cooper in a one-on-one situation. And on the zig, he gets wide open. Doing a good job evading his tackler, picking up 11 yards and the first down. Good first initial throw there by Jake Zimmer. Got some good accuracy on that play. Now we're going to do a QB wrap again, another design quarterback run. See how this goes. Good blocking again, easy first down pickup, and we're going to slide down to avoid potentially fumbling. If the runs are not working with Lionel Hebert, sometimes Jake Zimmer might take it into his own hands. On this play, though, Brian Jackson going to run it, and we're going to go to the outside, and he got to the edge, doing a good job, almost picking up the first. It's going to be 2nd and inches. And on 2nd and inches, we're coming out in strong. They're showing run, and we are going to run it with Hebert. Getting out to the edge again. Great blocks. Hopefully no holding. I don't see a holding call. A nice run by Hebert, and it seems like whenever Hebert gets a nice big chunk of yards on his run plays, it seems like we're consistently getting holding calls. That's why I was getting a little bit worried there. Now we're going to run a little play action. We've been doing a couple of run plays in a row, and we do have use check underneath. We're going to throw it to him, and he did not stay in bounds, though. On 2nd and 11, we have a post route, a crosser, and a little play action underneath. See if we can get anything explosive out of this. Jameson out to the left side, one-on-one. Oh, and he just drops it right at the 1 yard line, or almost in the end zone. On 3rd and 10, this is an issue. This is a play lately where we've been getting a lot of picks. Let's be patient here. Got Cooper on the outside, cutting back in, and he's able to hold on to it, shove off the safety, and get into the end zone for the touchdown. A great route by Cooper, and a great job by Jake trusting Cooper to get open on that route. Being very solid on offense, not having any really shaky plays, not getting a lot of pressure on Jake, which is what we like to see. And that is a great start to the game to build momentum for us. On the kickoff, Tennessee going to be returning. And we're going to have to see what Josh Jacobs and Joe Burrow put together on their next drive. Again, this is a 9-1 team. We do not expect it to be easy in this game. They definitely have a lot of talent. And just doing some of our subs here to make sure that Sean Hazelwood is in, and he is. And we're going to actually bring him off the edge on the first play. See if we can get some pressure with him. It's a single back. We should be looking out for the run play. And it is a run by Josh Jacobs. Again, we get to the edge with Isaiah Simmons and Damon Clark, though. And stop Josh Jacobs for another loss. And Josh Jacobs right now has 1,300 rushing yards on the season. So surprising so far that we've stopped him so easily. Our pass play underneath and caught in a weird play there. Again, running cover 3. They got 3 receivers out left. We're watching for anything down the seam. A little zig underneath. We're watching it. The corner out, one-on-one. Tariq trying to break it up, and he does. A great job on DeAndre Hopkins, and they're going to have to punt it away. Joe Burrow kind of trying to see if he can win that one-on-one between DeAndre Hopkins and Tariq Woolen, but Tariq has gotten so much better on those jump balls throughout the season, throughout the last couple of years. On the punt return, Brian Jackson had some good blocks, was in an interesting spot there, got it up to the 43 at least. And Jake Zimmer comes back out for his second offensive possession. On 1st and 10, running a triple option. They're waiting for it. And we should have handed it off there to Hebert, but we did not. So we're going to take a 3-yard loss. On 2nd and 13, looks like they're overloading the left side of the field. We're going to send Brian Jackson out right, and he's completely unmarked. This might as well be a free touchdown. And this is a complete blown coverage. They're throwing up for free. Brian Jackson's got the go and doesn't get tackled. Almost got ankle tackled there, but takes it all the way for the touchdown. A great pass by Jake. Probably shouldn't have lofted it that much, almost allowing, some of the defenders to get into the play. But regardless, a complete blow-in coverage by the Titans. Everyone overloaded the left side. Looked like it might have been a zone blitz or something. I can't really tell, but yeah, Brian Jackson, one of our top weapons, left completely unmarked. And that is what we like to do when we bring our running back out of the backfield as a receiver. Coming out in a little big nickel, we have Baron Browning and Christian Harris on the field as our linebackers. Down 14-0. See what they do on the counter play. They got Josh Jacobs running it. Christian Harris can't get the tackle. Oh, we missed another one. And finally, Isaiah Simmons is there to make the tackle on Josh Jacobs. Ronnie Stanley holding his left knee. Ronnie Stanley is without a doubt one of their most important offensive linemen. Both their tackles on this team are very good. In I form again here. It looks like another stretch play out to the left side, and we're able to get there, this time with Baron Browning, making it 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, they're in the gun. We're in cover 1 again. Christian Harris dropping back into cover, trying to help a little bit. Tariq doing a good job on DeAndre Hopkins, tackling him down pretty quickly, not letting him get anything after the catch. Dropping into 3rd and 4. We're going to go into cover 3. Watching the short stuff. Oh, but they do a good job of picking up that first down. We dropped it a little bit too far on the go route in the seam. Got baited by it a little bit, and Joe Burrow did a good job exploiting us underneath, picking up that first down. Single back, 3 receivers out right. And it's a run up the middle. Josh Jacobs able to break a couple tackles before going down at the 24. And Josh Jacobs, again, I think he might be leading the league in rushing yards. It's probably why they're so successful this season at 9-1. Nathan Walls with a nice tackle there on Marquez Callaway. Marquez Callaway, bit of a slower receiver. I always thought Marquez Callaway was like 6'4". He's actually only 6'1". But Nathan Walls doing a great job in coverage there. Definitely a sure tackler. Doing a great job at that safety spot. We weren't sure how he was going to perform as... Oh, and Isaiah Simmons gets burnt one-on-one by DeAndre Hopkins. Didn't see that one at all. We were watching the right side of the field a little bit for some of the slants. But DeAndre Hopkins scoring the first touchdown of the game for the Titans. Let's take a look at this play here. I wasn't sure how Isaiah Simmons got beat, but he was pressing, and that's really the problem. He has probably a very low press, and, despite the fact that he's actually faster than DeAndre Hopkins just gets a full head of steam and just runs right past him for the easy score. And that's really, coaching's fault there, but Isaiah Simmons should not be pressing their number 1 option at receiver. On 1st and 10, out of strong, running a run play up the middle with Lionel Hebert, picking up some good yards, making it 2nd and 6. And Hebert's has a little bit of success in this game running the football. Something that we have not really stuck to in terms of like a script very closely the last couple of games. He hasn't really been able to get it going. Jameson over the top. A little bit of a dangerous ball. Jameson can't get to it. That's probably the first throw that Jake Zimmer has made that's been a little bit risky. I do like the fact that there's only one linebacker really over the middle here. We're going to run it out to the left. Get good lead blocks, and on 3rd and 6, not able to pick up the first down, not able to pick up a single yard. As Quentin Posey, it looks like he might be holding his wrist, and we're going to have to punt this one away. And, of course, we don't like doing that. The Titans did just score on their last possession, but going to see if we can pin them back. And they do return a big hit by Jalen Armour Davis. And down at the 24, Joe Burrow is going to come back out here after leading them on a touchdown drive, going 4 for 4 on it. We're going to come out in nickel defense and see if we can get Sean Hazelwood set up for some pressure. And he's actually on the left side. We're watching the curl. And Marquez Callaway breaking a couple tackles, finally going down to 43. And Joe Burrow just destroying that cover 3 defense. Oh my God. Quentin Posey has an upper arm fracture, and he likely will be gone for 4 or 5 weeks, and I cannot overstate how big of a loss that is for this team. He's one of the most important receivers And he seems to be getting injured a lot for us. He's had a couple injuries over the last 2 seasons where he's been out for, 4-game stretches, and it really hurts because he is such an important part of this team as a run blocker and as a receiver. We're watching over the top, watching those curls and the flat, but on the right side, making it 3rd and 5 now. Joe Burrow in the gun. We got Christian Harris and Baron Browning back here. And looking at a bunch of over the middle routes, and Callaway picks up the catch but can't pick up the first down. It's going to be 4th and inches. And they're in I form. They've got one of the best running backs in the league. We've got to press everybody up on the line. And this looks like a run, and it's a stretch out to the right. Nathan Walls misses the tackle. Oh my God. Tariq is there. He can't make the tackle. Surtain finally is able to make the tackle. Nathan Walls almost just made a huge play for us, but was just off. Nathan Walls just overran him a little bit, got to the outside, and Josh Jacobs, of course, has one of the highest break tackles in the league. It's going to be hard to bring him down, but Nathan Walls did a great job shooting the gap there. I wish he could have been rewarded on that play. Another run play by Josh Jacobs, and this time Nathan Walls and Eric Stokes are there to make the tackle, making it 2nd and 4. We got Anthony Barr in. It's unusual. Another run play out to the left side. Josh Jacobs almost getting in the end zone, and finally bounces off another tackler and gets into the end zone for another touchdown. Josh Jacobs was unstoppable on that drive. It was very difficult to slow him down. And they have a very balanced offense so far. 10 carries and 10 pass plays. If we can get a halfback screen off, although they got so many people pressed up on the line, let's go for a pass play. And it is zone coverage. Oh no, it's an interception. Wow. Did not see that coming. Dropping back into coverage and getting a great pick is their 3rd middle linebacker, Jewel. And they're going to have the ball at the 23-yard line after that mistake by Jake Zimmer. I can't believe he got there in time to make that play. 1st and 10, dropping back. It's play action. Completing the pass underneath. Surtain missing the tackle. Finally, Christian Harris and Sean Hazelwood able to make the stop. On 2nd and inches, we're bringing a man blitz. Pretty much expect this to be a run play. And it is a run for Josh Jacobs. Oh, we missed the tackle with Ryan Neal. And they're able to pick up the first just barely. They already have 11 carries for Josh Jacobs, which is insane. They just show up in empty, which is very odd. Did not expect that at all. 1st and 10. Watching the underneath stuff. And Nathan Walls can't get there, but a huge hit by Christian Harris, throwing Marquez Callaway to the ground, making it 2nd and 2. And we fully expect a run play this time, although they are in gun again. But we got to watch out for Josh Jacobs at all times. We're in cover 1. We're watching over the middle. Oh, and a zig route by DeAndre Hopkins, or an in-breaking route at least, gets DeAndre Hopkins to score. And they've taken a 21-14 lead here after we were leading 14-0. A quick turnaround coming off after that interception. Just a big, momentum shifter. And Tennessee is completely captured. 1 turnover, or really it's say under 2. We need to have 1 or less turnovers on the game, and we have 1 now. We cannot afford another. Good blocks on the edge. Lionel Heber trying to get outside, picking up 2 yards. And we have 2 timeouts remaining. Obviously, the first goal is to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive. But we're going to bring Brian Jackson out here for a run play. They're showing double A-gap pressure. Brian Jackson getting tackled in the backfield, which is a rare occasion for him, losing yards on the run, making it 3rd and 11, and the Titans call a timeout. On 3rd and 11, it looks like it could be man coverage, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring Brian Jackson out of the out of the backfield and line him up kind of like in the slot, and we're going to have him on a deep out. We do got Juwan Johnson over the top. Can we fit it over? Oh, it's just knocked away, and Jake Zimmer, who was 3 for 6 at one point, is now 3 for 8. Stat line's looking a lot worse. 2 TDs and 1 pick. Still didn't turn the ball over on that drive. We're going to be punting it away, though, to the Titans. And a big hit by Damon Clark coming in on special teams and rocking their punt returner. Josh Jacobs already looking just unstoppable on the last couple of drives. Now we need to figure out a way to slow down this offense one more time before we get into halftime. We got to just try to not get blown out here in what has been a completely one-sided turnaround At one point leading 14-0, now down 21-14. Watching the slant, one-on-one, Baron Browning got Josh Jacobs, and he catches it. Oh my God, Josh Jacobs on the go. Beats Baron Browning, which I never could see happening, and they're down at the 10-yard line, and Ronnie Stanley is injured again. They're in empty this time. Splitting Josh Jacobs out at tight end, kind of. We're watching over the middle of the field. Oh, and on the curl, Surtain gets beat, and wow. We have fallen down 28-14 out of nowhere. The Titans all of a sudden become unstoppable on offense. We have not been able to slow them down one bit. We're going to have to go into halftime and make some adjustments for sure. And I'm not sure exactly what to do. When we play man coverage, we get burnt. When we play zone, Joe Burrow picks us apart. And their running game right now on the ground is just seemingly unstoppable. Josh Jacobs always picking up yards after contact. Okay, we got 45 seconds left and 2 timeouts, but we'll see what we can do as we get it out at the 23-yard line with Brian Jackson. On 1st and 10, they're showing 2 high safeties. This could be cover 2. Kind of doubt it. Looks like it's man. Actually, it is zone. We got Antoine Andrews picking up a big catch down at the 44. We're going to call our second timeout. We got 1 remaining. This looks like it may be cover 3. Got a pass underneath to Antoine Andrews again, who fumbles the ball, and we cannot afford a fumble. We're calling another timeout. We got 27 seconds remaining. A dangerous play there, though. And, yeah, no, we cannot afford another turnover. Again, we're trying to stay under 1 or under 2 on play action. Jamison open on the crosser, and we can't get it off in time as Jake Zimmer is hit on the play. 23 seconds remaining. Got to convert this first down, of course. Colby in on the left side as our second tight end. Waiting for Cooper to get open, and he does on the outside. And picks up the first down and gets out of bounds. On 1st and 10 with 17 seconds remaining. We got Cooper over to the right side. Oh, a dangerous ball, almost intercepted. Throwing off his back foot was Jake Zimmer, and that was just a really scary pass. We're going to send Antoine Andrews on a go and see if we can pull the safety away with Jamison. And instead, Jamison's going to be left wide open, but it's an inaccurate ball, and Jamison doesn't even dive for it. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now with 6 seconds left. And we're going to see if we can even scoop a field goal out of this possession. Yeah, Jamison and Julio underneath. Julio with a nice catch, getting out of bounds with 1 second remaining, and we will take the field goal before half. Disaster in the second quarter, to be honest. We make the field goal, and we make it an 11-point game, still a 2-possession game before halftime. To start the second half, Brian Jackson on the return. We do start with the ball. That is a nice benefit. Out from the 1-yard line. Oh, and Brian Jackson gets us up to the 28-yard line. Gets some good blocks there. Just hoping to get something a little bit more out of it, but on our first play from the half, the major things we need to adjust are mostly on defense. On offense, though, just continuing to churn out first downs. Lionel Hebert on the run, picking up no yards. And his outside running in this game has been pretty solid so far. Runs up the middle have not really been great for him. And I think we're going to try to run it up the middle one more time here. They're showing 3 linebackers over the middle, though. So I'm not sure how successful this will be. Halfback zone, running it up the middle. And Hebert does a good job picking up a couple of yards, making it 3rd and manageable. On 3rd and 4. Oh, we're just escaping outside the pocket. And did a good job as Jake Zimmer extending the play, running outside. And, yeah, ultimately, Cooper Kupp and Juwan Johnson were kind of in the exact same spot, covered by 1 defender. And we were looking for those short routes underneath the whole time. But Jake Zimmer did a good job escaping the pocket and picking up the first down with his legs because that play was going nowhere. Another zone blitz by this defense. In empty again. We're going to do a QB draw on this play. They only got 1 linebacker back there. Some good blocks, and Jake Zimmer only picking up a yard on the play. On 2nd and 9, out of the gun, you got Brian Jackson in the backfield. You got Jamison on a post, which I like to see. It's man coverage, and we try to escape out. Got a little too antsy in the pocket there, making it 3rd and 9. On 3rd and 9, trying a little flood concept on the outside, and it looked like, oh, it was man coverage. Jamison had beat his man. There was safety help over the top, and ultimately we take the hit on the throw. It's going to be incomplete, and we're going to have to try to field goal, actually, here from the 42. This is a deep one, but we could make it with Cade York. And we've got perfect accuracy. And will it be good? It is. Yeah, he's got plenty of leg. And that makes it an 8-point game, so technically a one-possession game now. Not exactly what we wanted out of that first drive, but at least, you know, scoring offensively, not turning the ball over, being safe. Again, Jamison, we looked at him on the go, but again, there was safety help over the top. I think if we threw that, that might have been an interception. Josh Jacobs and the Titans coming back out here. At half, Joe Burrow had nearly a perfect completion percentage, nearly a perfect passer rating. So the question is, how do we slow that down? Most of his throws have been to Marquez Callaway, so we got to watch him a little bit closer. This is like a cover 3 beater right here. We're underneath. Another throw underneath DeAndre Hopkins this time. Isaiah Simmons on the tackle. So far, it has definitely hurt to be missing Trey Hendrickson in this game. It feels like we're not getting a ton of pressure. They're running out to the right side. Christian Harris can't get there. Surtain misses the tackle. Nathan Wall is trying to get there. Finally, Isaiah Simmons makes the play from across the field and gets Josh Jacobs down at the 37, but he has had a tremendous amount of success running the football against our defense. And we, it doesn't matter if they're running inside or outside, it seems to be working. On the throw underneath, a good hit by Surtain, but Deontay Hardy ultimately does pick up 8 yards on the play. And still, Joe Burrow is having a lot of success against our defense passing the football. In the gun, watching the short over the middle, and Surtain able to get the interception. I can't believe it. Surtain on the return down to the 40. And what an interception by Surtain behind the receiver. I can't believe he got that pick. I think the only reason he got it is because Deontay Hardy is 5'6". But let's look at this play again. Joe Burrow sitting in the pocket. The curl is open. And Surtain putting his hand out around Hardy and snatching it out of the air. What a pick. Oh my God. And that is why he is paid $20 million per year at 24 years old as a 99 overall. He is there to make those plays that no other DB can make. On the halfback stretch run, Hebert on 2nd and 9. Got to make sure we score on this drive. We cannot... Oh my God. And Hebert falls down. That should be DPI. Hebert was running a route off of play action, got tackled by the D tackle as we were throwing it to him. And so on 3rd and 9 now, we have to pick up this first. Again, we have to reward Patrick Surtain for making that play for us. And I don't like to use Jackson out of the backfield on this sort of formation. We're going to switch out of it. We're going to do a halfback screen. And if we even get close to the 45, we're going to go ahead and go for it. This is a man play, though. And we got great blocks, easily picking up the first. Sitting behind his blockers, Jackson up to the 49, picking up the first. A nice play. Ultimately worked out because the blocking was so fantastic on that halfback screen. Running a mesh here. Looking for Antoine Andrews over the middle. Cooper is open. And Cooper picks up almost the first down, getting up and making it 2nd and 1. And we just cannot afford a turnover, just continuing to pick up first downs. A lot of short yardage plays. Again, with Jake Zimmer having 99 short accuracy in this game, should be a lot of first down pickups. And we hand it off, losing 3 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and 4. Cooper on the short out. Perfect pass. Perfect route by Cooper. And an easy first down. Now, one thing I like to look at for in mesh is see if we can get Brian Jackson a one-on-one on the outside like we have already before. And Brian Jackson does have that one-on-one with the linebacker. It is zone coverage, though, as Cooper picks up the first down off of the drag route. A great throw by Jake Zimmer, who now has over 90 throw on the run. A halfback counterplay here. The run has not been working out great for Brian Jackson, but the block set up pretty well, picking up 2 yards on the run. On 2nd and 8 from the 26, almost into the red zone. Looks like it is zone coverage. We'll play action. We got Jamison over the top, doing a high point pass. Jamison holding on to it down to the 5-yard line. I was slightly worried about a fumble there. We're going to go no huddle. I like the looks we're getting against this defense specifically. We're going to shift Cooper over to the right side, get him one-on-one. It is man coverage, it looks like. We're going to put him on a zig, and we're going to send Brian Jackson out to the left. And I think Cooper could win this on the right side. And he's overplaying the outside. So Jake Zimmer is going to scramble and run to the end zone for the touchdown. And now we just have to go for 2 points to tie this thing up. And we're going to try a little spacing play. Jake Zimmer is an X factor. And actually, I almost want to go for a QB run, but we were already past that point. So on the spacing play, we're looking for Antoine Andrews potentially. And we're looking for Jameis on the slant, but I don't think the slant's going to be there. Andrews underneath, able to hold onto it. A big catch by Antoine Andrews, making some big plays for us in this game. And all season long when he's not been injured, as one of the Tennessee defenders goes down with an injury. And the game is all tied up with 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And it's Alshon Robinson that's actually going out of the game. And the Titans are going to have to come out here and answer. And we have recaptured momentum in this game, even though it's a tie game at this point. We have a little bit of momentum on our side playing at home. And Josh Jacobs is going to have to show us a little bit of something on this drive. He has already shown us a lot, already making one big catch over Baron Browning, having a lot of explosive run plays. But on 1st and 10, we're in nickel. Christian Harris on the play, misses the tackle, but Eric Stokes finally comes in there and cleans it up. And Sean Hazelwood's impact has been completely minimized in this game because, again, he is just kind of a pure finesse sort of runner. A big play, though, by Dontrell Parker, stopping Josh Jacobs for a loss, making it 3rd and 12. And now we're in a 3rd and long situation against this offense, and they are not usually in these sorts of situations. They've been picking up a lot of short yardage plays, making 1st down pickups pretty easy. We're watching everything over the middle. We're going along with it. Ryan Neal trying to make the tackle on Hopkins as Hopkins stumbles out of bounds at the 26, and it's 4th and 9, and they're going to have to punt it away. And this is going to give us the opportunity to come out and take the lead. On the return, Brian Jackson is there. Got to get Jalen Armour Davis out of the play. On the block, Brian Jackson going left, not getting any yards. It's okay. Now, Jake Zimmer is an X factor. We switched him off of Dots to Truz, so he should not fumble if he gets hit. Jake Zimmer on the carry, running outside, and they completely run away from Jake Zimmer. The safety, I don't know what he was doing, but Jake has the run, holding the ball with one hand, it doesn't matter. Takes it all the way in for the rushing touchdown, and a huge run by Jake Zimmer to recapture the lead. Scoring in his own way. A lot of quarterbacks, you think they might lead us down the field throwing the football, but Jake Zimmer just holding it in one hand, taking it all the way by himself for an 80-yard run is actually insane for a QB. A big play out of the read option. And this 9-1 team is a little bit worried now. They kind of took a couple shots at us in the 2nd and 3rd quarter, and they kind of thought that this game was over, I think. They kind of let off the gas. We've come back into this game and taken the lead again, and now Joe Burrow and Josh Jacobs have to answer. We'll see if they can do it. They're kind of a team that is a little bit slower on offense. They don't like to be sped up. They still have 5 minutes here, so they really don't have to speed up, but they are definitely going to have to get some things moving here. They cannot let us get the last possession with a minute or so remaining. It's a little too dangerous. They're going to have to score pretty quickly here. 1st and 10 out of single back. Another run by Josh Jacobs. Going out to the left. He missed the tackle, but finally making the tackle. I think that was Nate Vasher on the play. On 2nd and 7, they're in empty. This is a little dangerous. I don't love this. Isaiah Simmons over the middle. Watching Dallas Goedert. On the short out, we're all over it. We're watching the flats, but finally catching it is DeAndre Hopkins. And I really feel like that interception by Surtain earlier in the game is what has completely flipped momentum on this defense, allowing us to kind of, assert kind of our own dominance here. And Surtain misses the tackle on Hardy. Hardy finally going down, gang tackling. Everyone showing up for Surtain when he missed that tackle. But Surtain really playing great coverage there. Hardy just a little too agile for him at 5'6", and single back again. As I was saying, though, yeah, Surtain's pick has completely shifted momentum for this defense. We feel like we can make these stops. Nathan Walls drops down. Nate Vasher coming out and making the tackle, doing a great job shedding the blocks despite his low block shed rating. And single back again. They love single back. Ryan Neal cheating over to the right side. Another stretch run to the right, and we missed the tackle. Oh, get there, Walls. Walls making a hit finally on Josh Jacobs, bringing him down at the 35. And Josh Jacobs is stumbling a little bit. It is 1st and 10 from the 35. They're in the gun. We're in cover 3 right now. They have been exploiting cover 3. We're going to drop into cover 2, man. Got Ryan Neal out left. We got to worry. They're shifting so many players around, and they're getting some mismatches. I don't love this. Marquez Callaway is being covered by Baron Browning. We're watching it over the top, and Tariq is getting beat this time by DeAndre Hopkins on the slant route. When they switch so many formations like that, it makes it really hard to keep our DBs on the receivers. Baron Browning getting put onto Marquez Callaway was an obvious mismatch that we had to help on. On 1st and 10 from the 18, we're watching underneath. We're sitting on it. We're watching. Oh, we're trying to cut back. Ryan Neal getting the hit on Deontay Hardy, but they're down at the 3-yard line. We're in goal line. They are in goal line as well. From the 3-yard line, 2-minute warning, already passed. Watching the run from Josh Jacobs. It's play action. Nathan Walls with the sack. I can't believe it. Now we're still in base 3-4. We're scrambling. They're quick snapping us. We're watching over the middle. Damon Clark playing back in coverage, and they finally found Bryce Mann wide open for the TD as Tariq was just playing his zone and there was just no one over there. You'd think that he would cheat over and, I don't know, play some coverage on the guy standing out wide open in the back of the end zone. Or that was Nathan Walls, I believe, actually. But, yeah, just strictly adhering to their zone coverage, not actually moving to where the receivers are actually at. A little frustrating, but now it is tied 35 all with 1:38 remaining. We knew this was going to be a tough game. Brian Jackson on the return from the 5. Good block by Calvin Austin. Brian Jackson down at the 24. And with 1.5 remaining, we got all 3 timeouts. Jake Zimmer already coming out on that last drive and scoring a 80-yard rushing TD. Jake Zimmer still an X factor, so we can use that QB run whenever we need to. On the run to the outside, Lionel Hebert not getting a great block from Juszczyk, who goes all the way up to the safety on that play to try to make a block. Just definitely weird. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. We're going to try a QB draw on 2nd and 9. I understand that we're running out of time a little bit, but look at how wide open that field is over the middle. Great blocks. Picking up an easy first down and sliding. We're going to use our first timeout on 1st and 10. Now they got to worry about the run a little bit. We're bringing a little bit of the coverage away from our receivers. Got Cooper open. Ooh, I saw another receiver wide open. We got to throw it away. Both of our outside receivers were wide open. Looks like it might have been cover 2. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get that lucky again. There was definitely cover 2 on that play. Let's see. We got Cooper wide open over the middle. Cooper almost getting the first down. It's going to be 3rd and inches. And do another QB draw. Remember, we can't fumble, so it doesn't really matter if we get hit. Jake Zimmer on the carry. Down at the 42. Call another timeout. 37 seconds remaining. And the Titans are going to have to stop us. They got all 3 of their timeouts remaining. But now we can just go ahead and run the football from the 42. And I feel pretty confident that we can make a field goal from out here with Cade York already hitting a couple of long, like a 60-yarder already for us. On the outside run, Hebert getting to the edge and picking up a couple yards down to the 39. And we're going to run it again here. 17 seconds remaining, and the Titans are just letting the clock run. Okay, going to run into the outside, doing a toss play. Good blocks. Hebert trying to break the tackle. We actually lost 4 yards. I don't love it. I don't love it at all. It's 3rd and 11. We're going to do one more pass play. That was actually a big mistake. I can't lie. Okay, we're watching Cooper on the short out. If it's not there, we just throw the ball away. Cooper's got man coverage. Got his man one-on-one. And it's going to be incomplete. So we got 3 seconds remaining. It's a 60-yard field goal. Cade York hits these in his sleep. Definitely not, the kind of field goal we want. But perfect accuracy. 3 seconds remaining against the 9-1 Tennessee Titans, who came in here and just smacked us around in the 2nd and 3rd quarter. Here we go, Cade York. Can you make it? Doesn't get blocked. It's got the leg, and it's good. At home. Winning 38-35. Coming back, showing a lot of grit. Jake Zimmer, in his return, has a near-flawless performance. We're going to take a look at his stats after the game as well. Looking at the stats, Joe Burrow having a nearly flawless performance. 22 for 24. 4 TDs and 1 interception. And the only reason we got that pick is because Surtain made an out-of-body, insane pick on Joe Burrow when he threw it to Deontay Hardy. Jake Zimmer having a great performance passing the football. 13 for 25. 200 yards passing. 50% completion percentage. 2 TDs and 1 pick. The headline of this is he didn't make a lot of mistakes. Only 1 turnover in the game is fantastic. He also ran the ball 10 times for 140 yards. and 2 touchdowns, which I think that was mostly off that one big run. But, yeah, I definitely didn't see that happening, him having that big of a game running the football. Hebert struggled quite a bit, 11 carries for 25 yards. Brian Jackson actually struggled running the ball as well, only 4 carries for 7 yards. That's unusual for both of them to some extent. Josh Jacobs having a crazy game, of course. Having 1 fumble, but he ended up getting that back, or his O-line got it back for him. I think it was actually his tight end. Receiving-wise, Cooper Kupp leading the way, 7 catches for 70 yards and a TD. Brian Jackson also having that one long receiving play where he was completely left wide open on busted coverage for the touchdown. So 2 catches for 70 yards and a TD for him. DeAndre Hopkins having a good game with 2 TDs. And Antoine Andrews, 2 catches for 28 yards. Had a solid performance. Jameson with only 1 catch, unusual for him. Julio having 1 big catch before the end of the first half where he picked up 10 yards and it allowed us to get a field goal before the end of the half. And then looking at the defense, leading the way in tackles was Isaiah Simmons along with Baron Browning and Nathan Walls. And Nathan Walls was starting to make some plays in this game, leading the way in sacks. He had our only sack of the game, actually. I thought we had another one, but we have been kind of lacking on sacks lately, only getting like 1 or 2 per game at most. We need to worry a little bit more about how we're going to get some pressure on these QBs. They've been just standing in the pocket and just kind of like, sitting there, throwing at will. Eventually, our coverage is going to give up, some yards. Nathan Walls, though, getting a sack of his own on the goal line, and Surtain getting that 1 interception. And those 2 plays, actually the Nathan Walls sack didn't end up mattering much. They did end up scoring a TD anyways, but the Surtain play was the difference in this game without a doubt. Baron Browning forcing that fumble on Josh Jacobs, which they ended up recovering. And we had no defensive touchdowns, and those are the stats for the game. After the game, we got a number of upgrades for players. Mostly, let's look at Nate Vasher first. He's going to be up to a 70 overall, now that we boosted his speed rushing. Again, a fantastic 7th round selection that has played a lot, mostly due to the fact that we don't have any depth at D-tackle. Dontrell has taken over his starting job. But Nate Vasher still has made some meaningful plays for us this season, and I think we'll continue to do that. Nick Neiman getting an upgrade. We're just going to boost his pass coverage. A solid, backup third middle linebacker. Getting a boost to zone, man, and speed, which I love to see. At 6'3", he's got 90 speed now. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Almost 70 zone coverage as well. A very serviceable backup middle linebacker. Josh Jones getting an upgrade. We're going to boost his run support because we already kind of know that he is not much of a coverage safety. He is there to stop the run, and he is there to make tackles. 91 speed right now, 87 hit power, and his tackling is 76 right now with the boost. Surtain getting an upgrade, and he is basically maxed out at everything, and we're going to just max out his slot next. Let's see what this does for him. It gives him a boost to agility, injury, jumping, play rec, press, and tackle. And looking at his stats, they're just, computer numbers for sure. He's just a perfect corner at 6'2", 200 pounds, and 95 speed, 99 man, 99 zone, 99 play rec, 99 press. Yeah, he is ridiculous. And that is all the upgrades for the game. Looking after the game, let's look at what we get for the hot opponent and the short week. Again, we had some fatigue in this game. I don't know why Kirk Cousins is talking to us, but didn't seem to really affect Jake Zimmer. I think mostly because he was benched in the previous game. He came out with plenty of energy coming off the bench from the previous game, and we are now 8-3-1 after beating the Titans and giving them their second L of the season. And Kirk Cousins still talking to us, even though he is the backup. So we stole the Titans' momentum, and all players will have plus 10 break tackle, play rec, and tackle in the next game. And our entire team earned 2,500 experience, so that is great. And so looking at the injury to Quentin Posey, now this is the worst thing, is that Quentin Posey is going to be out for 3 weeks with an upper arm fracture. And just looking at his stats so far, he actually has an upgrade. So let's boost that, actually. And now that he's up to an 80 overall, I'm going to boost his blocking. That does boost him up to an 81 overall, at least, as well. So that's going to boost his impact, his run block finesse, run block power, and his break tackle. And again, let's look at his stats now. He has 7 receiving touchdowns on the season. He's averaging 54 receiving yards per game, and he's so crucial in the run blocking schemes that we have. He's our best run blocker at tight end, even though he's also like one of our top receivers. And, he's ideally that Gronk or George Kittle type of tight end for us, and he could definitely develop into that, but we've got to prevent him from getting injured like this. He's had so many injuries where he's been out for 3 or 4 weeks. It's continuing to be an issue for him. Trey Hendrickson, though, will be back next week from his hip pointer injury, and Kyron Johnson's still going to be out for a while as our backup, probably like our third string right outside linebacker. But we have a couple more upgrades, it looks like, after getting that 2,500 boost. Oh, wow, we have a lot of upgrades. Okay, let's go through this quickly. Isaiah Simmons getting an upgrade, and we're going to boost his zone a little bit, get his coverage up a little bit. And wow, right now we're getting a +6 boost to overall from that game. Getting +1 to zone. Gets him up to 94 speed finally. And Kyle Juszczyk getting an upgrade. I'm going to boost his utility. I'm going to boost his blocking a little bit. It's kind of what we mostly use him for. We don't use him much as a receiver, but he can absolutely do that. And then Jake Zimmer getting another upgrade. Having a good game. We're going to boost his field general up to 85 now and see what that does for him. It's going to boost his throw power, his throw accuracy deep, and his awareness. Wow. So his throw power is now up to 94. His deep is up to 85 with boosts. And so right now we have like all the momentum in the world for this season after winning that game versus the Titans. Lionel Hebert getting an upgrade. We're going to boost his power back. Trying to get him up to an 80 overall where Brian Jackson is already currently at. Boosting his ball carrier vision, his trucking, and his awareness. His break tackle right now with the +10 boost is up to 96. And he is looking great. Nathan Wall's getting an upgrade, and we're going to upgrade his run support. That is more of a kind of what his archetype is at free safety, considering he was, a linebacker previously, boosting his tackle, pursuit, zone coverage, man coverage, even a little bit, his excel and his jumping. So now looking at his stats, he's up to 76 zone with the boost, 92 tackle, 81 pursuit, 86 play rec for him right now is crazy. 76 hit power, 66 man, 62 block shed is pretty solid. I love seeing that for him. And Calvin Austin getting an upgrade despite not really playing for us much at all. He's going to boost his playmaking, and that is going to upgrade his agility, awareness, ball carrier vision, catching traffic, catching, juke, medium route, and spin move. Let's see, we got a lot more. Okay. We're going to have to go through this a lot faster. Jesus, we got an upgrade for the whole team. We got a lot of players here that probably are just auto upgrades, like Moses Brackett will just upgrade his playmaking. Is there anyone specifically we want to change? Antoine Andrews is relatively important. We're going to boost his deep threat, and I want to see what his stats are looking like after this. So he gets a boost to catch, release, spec catch, and already, his deep route is by far his best attribute. His spec catch is up to a 96 with the boost. Had a good game for us in this last game. Dontrell Parker getting an upgrade. I want to boost his power rushing a little bit more. And that is going to upgrade his awareness, block shed, hit power, power moves, and strength. And his hit power is already, what is it? His hit power is already pretty high. It's it's 82. Yeah. And we almost are going to be able to see what his abilities are or whether or not he's superstar. It looks like he had an ability slot, so I think he's at least superstar, if not superstar X Factor. So we're going to see what that is pretty soon here. He needs about 180 more snaps on defense. And then we're going to auto-upgrade the rest of these players because they just need to boost in their overalls to actually get playing time. 15 players getting upgraded aside from the upgrades we already made. And we are on an absolute roll right now with this team at 8-3-1. And I think that benching Jake Zimmer was the best thing we could have possibly done for this team. Because we were having a streak of 3 or 4 games where we had no identity on offense. And we were having a lot of issues with turning the football over. And we were losing some games or getting close games versus teams we shouldn't have. But coming out here with Jake Zimmer and dropping 140 rushing yards and 2 TDs, along with 2 touchdowns through the air and 1 interception, that's a good bounce back game for him. So next week we have a bye, and then the week after that we're going to be playing against the Vikings. So look forward to that in the next episode. Again, if you have not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe. I really appreciate it, so you can see these videos in your feed. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, and I'll see you in the next video.